Thank you everyone for joining today's webinar, Graduate with Confidence and Career Connections. Today's webinar will be presented by Bekk Milwood, who you'll be able to see on the screen now. Bekk is the founder and the head of talent acquisition at the Fitness Lifestyle International. She's a trusted recruitment expert in the health and fitness sector, and Bekk is also a consultant to hiring departments in the growing boutique fitness and wellness space. She is dedicated to elevating teams in the luxury fitness and wellness landscape across Australia. So today, Bekk is here to be sharing all of her expert advice on how you're going to get noticed through interviews, cover letters, and the resumes to secure your first role or maybe your career change role. If you have any questions for Bekk today, please kindly add them to the Q&A box, but there will also be some opportunities for you to have a chat at the end. With that, I am going to hand over to Bekk. Bekk will be sharing her screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. I'll just pop up my screen, hopefully, and that is not it. I knew I would do that. Let's try that one. There we go. Yeah.
Brilliant.
So thank you everyone for, taking the time to come and spend a few an hour or so or whatever we're going to do today with us. I hopefully can give you some insights and some value adds into, I guess, the hiring process and how you sort of move through your career. I have, well, like Chloe said, I've been in the industry for a very long time myself, pushing on 29 years, I think now as a health and fitness professional, and a good 10 years in the talent acquisition or recruitment space. So I wanted to share with you a little bit, I guess, about who I am and my journey so far as well. So who is talking with you today. So as I mentioned, I'm the head of talent and founder at Fitness Lifestyle International. So we're a recruitment agency and recruitment consultants for the fitness industry, spa and leisure, hospitality, lifestyle industry. So we are working with candidates and we're working with clients, obviously, to place them within great career roles, great roles all over Australia. So no matter where you're tuning in from today, we can have the discussion on, what your career path looks like, how to sort of move through the industry, and any expectations, I guess, or industry insights that you're chasing today. I can sort of help you with there. With the, I guess, myself and my background, I've been a coach as well. So I was a personal trainer and body sculpting coach for about 14 years, back in another lifetime, previous to recruitment. So I guess where it all started out for me, and you might be in a similar position now if you've just graduated, is I started doing, well, it all started when you sort of graduate your course, really, and then you sort of move through the industry by upskilling yourself all of the time, following trends, cycles, niches, wherever your passions lie, sort of drove me through my career. So I was a gymnast when I was younger. And so the first point of call for me was to obviously follow my passions there and step into being a kindy gym instructor and working with little kids who were coming through, which was a really fun time as well. And that sort of led me into doing my Cert 3. Back in the day, it was called a fitness leader. It gave you the ability to do freestyle aerobics instruction and work on the gym floor, similar to what it does today, but it's obviously evolved a hell of a lot. So I did that one back then with FitLink Australia, one of the original RTOs, and then moved into my Cert 3 and Cert 4 with the Australian Institute of Fitness. So that's where everything really took off for me. I was in hospitality at the same time while I was going through my courses. So like many people, when we are starting out in the industry, you're probably coming from another career or you have another job as well to sort of support as you get started out. I was exactly the same. So I moved through doing some personal training. I then, before it was a Pilates thing, I got into Pilates as well. So I did my what was called a core and Mat 1 class, instructor's course back then. So I moved through my understandings of Pilates as well. And these are all things that I guess you add to your toolkit along the way. So these are things you may not want to specialize in, but it's great to have in the toolkit so you have an understanding of how to move people through these movements safely as well. I got into boxing a lot. I moved through multiple courses there. Then the kettlebell phase came for me. I'm a massive kettlebell fan. The full body workout just appealed to me so much. So I did my kettlebell certifications multiple times actually. And then I sort of, as I sort of started to specialize in the middle of my career in the body sculpting space and in women's training specifically, we started to move through what would be the blockages and challenges for women in their training. And that sort of led me into biosignature and I guess the supplement side of things as well. So we started to unpack that and move through those things. I got very into, advanced nutrition. I became a sports nutrition specialist as well. And that sort of then drove my career and interests more so into the sports supplements side of things and the nutrition side of things. So I actually got into sports supplement sales and area management and account management at that time as well. So you can sort of see how the course of my career was nudged in different directions over the time. And then as I sort of progressed towards the end of my coaching, I got more into the epigenetic health side of things as well and became a metabolic health coach. And that sort of really then was the beginning of the conversation of personalizing people's programming. So I still absolutely love that space as well. And once you learn all of these things, it just becomes a layer to who you are, and you can see sort of how it becomes a lifestyle and how it becomes a lifestyle for people. And that's sort of how I moved through my career, and then obviously into the recruitment space after that, after having a big history in the industry and also a lot of contacts in the space. There's a lot of networking that comes with being an account manager and an area manager and things like that. So you build up a great network, and then people just sort of generally started to ask, who do you know? Where can we find people? And I became the people network. So that's sort of how my agency started. And it's been going along in that space and quite specifically in that niche since then. So exciting times. With the agency itself, so I touched a little bit on it at the beginning, but we are Fitness Lifestyle International, so a small but mighty team of talent scouts and recruiters who have experience in this industry, a very deep experience in this industry, and understand the different models and the different conversations and what it's like from a cultural perspective within these places as well. So we can really speak quite I guess, detailed to candidates and clients, but mostly candidates, to give them insights before they apply on what the culture is like in these different brands and different businesses, what they're looking for in an applicant. So it can be quite handy to have a talent scout or a recruiter on your side, helping you prepare in your best light and for with confidence and help you prepare, I suppose, for these interviews. So you have a higher chance of success or getting a meeting or getting that interview, and also along the way as well, and how to negotiate contracts and how to negotiate your salary and things like that. So we're here to support the candidate. We work with the client, but we're here to support the candidate as well, and help you guys move through those pathways. So that's largely what I do. But I wanted to, I guess, and these are some of the clients and partners and brands that we work with as well, or have worked with over time. So each one of them has its own very special culture, as you would imagine. So if you're sort of wanting some insights or any kind of information on applying with any of these businesses, or you have interests in the space, we can certainly have those discussions as well. So I wanted to start this presentation, I suppose, or a seminar with why we're here, and more importantly, why you guys are here. So I was talking to Chloe before, and I was mindful of you know, I don't want to just get on here and talk about resumes and cover letters and how to apply, although all that stuff is super important and very important to me as a recruiter. And we will step into that sort of thing as well, because it's a point of success. I wanted to ask you guys, I guess, why you're here, what's brought you here today, and what you'd like to get out of this session. If there's any specific questions that you have, I'd love you to put them in the chat box and let us know. I might give everyone a couple of, well, a minute or so just to put something in the chat box as to what you'd like to know, or what you'd like to ask me about today. And that can sort of direct where this conversation goes. Otherwise, you can just sit pretty and I'll talk about how to interview and how to be a standout candidate, I guess, when we're talking to these businesses and clients. So has anyone got any questions that are pressing initially for me? The confidence to apply for roles with not having enough experience. Yeah, absolutely. We can definitely touch on that. It's usually your initiative and your culture fit and you know, those kind of values that you bring towards the business that can really trump any kind of experience. They want to see enthusiasm and you know, a real passion for their product and what they do, brand alignment, and be just a great ambassador for their brand is going to be really helpful in that space. What are the different types of pathways you can take as a newly qualified Cert 3 and Cert 4, and what are the differences and pros and cons between them? Yeah, absolutely. I guess there's slightly different pathways between Cert 3 and Cert 4 as well. So if you have your Cert 3, obviously that gives you then access to work confidently on the gym floor, do some general group fitness classes and things like that. As you sort of step into your Cert 4, then you can really personalize your product. You can do your one-on-one coaching and personal training. So with each one of those comes different pathways, and they get more and more diverse, which is exciting as the years go on, as this industry really diversifies into fitness, wellness, and that sort of conversation as well. So if you're going down your Cert 3 avenue, it is quite a general certification, and it will give you access to you know, to working in gyms and to start teaching. It's a great place to start, and it's a great place to I guess build your relationship with members and with the future. If you are doing your Cert 4, it's a great way to meet future clients as well for your one-on-ones. So we always suggest doing group exercises is a really good start in the industry, especially if you're looking to move into then personalizing it with your one-on-one PT. But PT can move into various pathways as well. And you can even start in completely different spaces. So, you know, there's online coaching. A lot of people are wanting to move into online coaching straight out of their course as well. And then there's on-site. You can be employed. You can be a contractor. It really comes down to the flexibility that you want to have in your role. Do you want to do things, you know, run your own roster and have your own brand and sort of move in different spaces like that? Or do you want the, I guess, the security of having employment and then move through a more management pathway, so you can move from PT to mentor to manager, and then into, you know, either a regional management role, perhaps a head coach role, perhaps, or you might want to move into, you know, ownership, or take a sidestep into club management. It's yeah, there's a lot of options, and we'll talk about that moving forward as well. All the basic info starting out, what your resume should look like, how to market yourself when working with children, okay, and soccer and general fitness. Okay, yep, awesome. So how to present yourself, how to market yourself. Recently got an ASCA level 1. Is CPR and first aid certification compulsory to become a PT? Yes, it is, especially if you're a contractor as well. So if you're a contractor in this space, whether that's in group fitness or personal training, you're going to need your first aid, CPR, and your own insurance. And then depending on the model that you go into, if you are an employed group fitness instructor, it's covered by the business, you are covered by the business insurance as well. So just depending on your role, just check with the hiring manager what you're actually going to be required from a certification perspective. Obviously, you'll need an ABN as well if you're going to be a contractor. So all of those things are important to have, but it also depends on your pathway. So yeah, we can touch on what's required there as well. So thank you for that. That's really helpful, and it lets me know sort of where we're at and sort of where to start. So I'll share my screen again, and we can sort of move through what's to come. So luckily, are sort of moving in the right direction, and we are going to cover interviewing for alignment, sort of how you, I guess, do your research, how you prepare yourself for an interview or to apply, how to apply your resumes, your cover letters, and how to stand out when doing that, mentoring, and how you sort of move through your career on purpose. And then at the end, we'll just sort of have a Q&A. You guys can ask some more questions, anything that's popped up during that time. And I can show you how to connect, get represented, or become part of the community as well. So I guess with interviewing and where it all starts. So now you have your certification. I guess how you, and you might, if you've got a background in the health and fitness industry already, you might be a member or, you know, involved in a sporting community of some kind. So really important, I guess, to unpack the brands, the values, the communities that you feel quite aligned with. So where you are a member is where you sort of can start, really. So those sort of communities and brands that you feel particularly aligned with, I would have a list or just have some awareness around which ones really resonate with you, and then sort of doing your research and unpacking those brands, finding out as much as you can about the training styles, the career pathways that are on offer, who runs the business, like who are going to be your senior management, who are going to be your mentors, and can you see yourself learning and growing there? So once again, it depends on where you want to go or where you want to start out in the industry. But I'm sure if you've started your course in Cert 3 and Cert 4, you will already have, I guess, an idea of what lights you up, where your passions lie, where you want to play, those kinds of things. And that might be in the sporting realm. It might be in the gyms. I mean, there's so many different facilities and ways of working these days. It might be online for you, in which case you would want to unpack what your niche might be, who's going to be your audience and who you're speaking to directly. So interviewing for alignment is a big one. And I would start with, you know, doing your research. So, which I'm sure most of you have done if you've got passions in this industry. And then how to prepare and the confidence piece in presenting yourself at an interview. So I guess once you have an interview booked, I cannot, you know, express this more heavily. Please be prepared. You know, you really want to stand out. This is you know, these clients and these hiring managers and myself, we're getting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of resumes across our desk. So how do you make a resume that's just landing in front of someone stand out? And I guess coaching people around this and the ways that, and the people that stand out to me and other hiring managers in particular are people who come prepared. So know what you're talking about, know your key points about it, and you're talking about yourself. You're essentially selling yourself. So we want to hear about your skills. We want to hear about your achievements. Your values is a big one as well. And authentically, present authentically. So I don't want you to be too casual and just sort of, you know, have the recruiter sell it to you. But you do want to, you know, not be uptight and like you're reading a script either. So stay human, stay real, be authentic, but be professional. So a big one for me moving people through the pipeline is knowing the brand, know what you have applied for. I've had some terrible experiences where someone has booked a time with me and I'll get them on the call and I'll be like, okay, why did you apply with this brand in particular? And they're like, oh, I've applied to so many roles. I really don't know which one this is. Can you tell me about it? And that is not the best way to start an interview, I can tell you. So please come prepared, research the culture, the mission, the job that you've applied for. Take 5-10 minutes before your interview, and just be doing it on purpose. Let us know that you've done your research and that you feel genuinely aligned, and then we'll want to hear your story. So when it comes to your story, just practice a couple of examples that you've done in the past. And this doesn't have to be from the fitness industry. I have a lot of people doing career changes. So those experiences are absolutely relevant and transferable as well. So practice a couple of examples that, show your value, show your impact, show that you want to grow with the business and that you are there on purpose to really work with this brand. Show them that you mean it. So I would have a couple of examples prepared there as well. Arrive early and composed. So please come 5-10 minutes early to your interview. I don't mind if it's online, maybe 5 minutes. Get to know we do a lot of Zoom calls at this stage and at this time in the world. We're doing a lot of online interviewing as well. So if it's not in person, then even with Zoom, I would recommend getting on 5 minutes early. Get used to the platform. Know how you're, know that you've got a good internet connection and that you've got somewhere with great lighting and you can present well, that there's not noise going on around you. You're not in a cafe, you're not distracted. I've had people on the phone to me walking through the city, eating their food, chewing gum. It's not a good look. I don't recommend it. So if it's online, come 5 minutes early. If it's in real life, 5-10 minutes early. Make sure you know where you're going, research it prior. But all of those sort of things are going to present you in a good light. First impressions matter. I can't tell you enough. We know that this industry moves really, really fast. Hiring managers and business owners and founders and people, managers who are interviewing you, they move really fast through this industry as well too. So you've literally got seconds to make an impression and to stand out above all the other people they're interviewing as well. So if you want it, make them realize it. That sort of leads into the body language side of things as well. So make sure that you are well presented, that you're not sweaty, running, out of breath, just have some composure. It really does matter. Presentation matters. We're in an industry where aesthetics are a thing. So although they don't expect you to dress corporate or in business attire and things like that, just well presented, smart casual will usually make the cut in this space as well. Or new, well-kept activewear, those sort of things. If you have any questions about what you're supposed to be wearing to an interview and someone hasn't already told you, then have a look at the business itself. What are the coaches wearing? What are the staff wearing? How do they present? Even the management and things like that. So try and match who you're meeting that day. And their expectations there. They need to see that immediately that, oh, you're a fit for our team. Like we can see you fitting into the team. So that's a really important one. If it's a two-way chat, see if it should be a two-way chat. We want you to interview them as much as they're interviewing you. I always tell all of my candidates to do this as well. We want to make sure that it's a fit for the long haul. So if you are really keen on this position, have some questions prepared as well. Make sure that you're interviewing them, as I said, as much as they're interviewing you. You want to make sure that there's alignment, that they are a business and a culture that you can see yourself thriving in long term. So hit them up with some questions. They'll really appreciate that as well, because it shows that you're interested and keen. So I guess with the way to sort of finish the meeting as well, a follow-up is always a really good way to make a bigger impression as well. A lot of people won't do it. You'll be surprised on the small, tiny things that you can do during these meetings to make yourself memorable. And also, I can tell you now, the majority of people are not doing it. So it's just going to take the tiniest thing to help you stand out. Oh, that skipped all the way to the end. Sorry, guys. So with the culture side of things, we want to make sure, I mean, everyone's hiring for culture these days. So, you asked before about how do we start out in the industry with no experience and things like that. This is where it hits. So we are hiring for culture fit as much as, or even a little bit more so than skill sets. We want trainable, coachable people who believe in our mission, believe in the values of the business, who show up with the energy that and enthusiasm for the brand that we want to see, and we want our members to see and our clients to see. So make sure that you're in line with that culture and that you're ready to contribute to it, not just be a part of it, but contribute to that culture as well. So always sort of thinking ahead in that space. It's attitude over experience every day. Your resume essentials. So when you are presenting some your resumes these days, and there are so many tools out there, please use them. We've got AI, we've got Canva, we've got all of these places to utilize for templates as well. So my recommendation would be to keep it, not too many pages, 2 pages, summarize things. It's basically your brochure, your snapshot to I guess winning us over, to get us to want to talk to you and find out more. So that's what it's all about. Don't leave out your other experience from other industries as well. If you are a career changer or you're a school leaver or anything like that, we want to see what you've been doing in your life as well. Volunteering contributes to things, what your passions are, what your projects have been, what your sporting communities are. All of those things matter as well. If you don't have essentially a long history of career experience, we want to see what else you've been doing. And also, if you're coming from another industry and you've had a previous career, don't leave that out either. Put that in there as well. We want to see how you've moved through your career, that you've spent time in particular roles and that you haven't moved around too much. All of those sort of things are important to, I guess, tell your story. And that's sort of where we can focus on any achievements that you've had over these roles or over these times, even in your sporting space or your personal life. What are you proud of? What are you the best in the world at? We want to hear all of those things as well, and just make sure it's a clean layout, and that it's not it's easy to follow, I suppose. And if you've got any questions on those sort of things, you can hit up someone like myself, see how you can present your resume in your best light as well. But that sort of leads me into then your cover letter, because your cover letter ties it all together. So if you're just presenting your resume and it might be a bit confusing, or it's not particularly speaking to the role, then your cover letter is where you can tell your story, how it all fits together, how I moved through this career into this career, why I'm doing this, who I trained with, speaking to the values and your goals, like where are you headed with it all of those sort of things tie it all together. And I cannot stress this more importantly. Show your enthusiasm for the brand, show that this is where you can show you've done your research on the brand, and why you're applying for this role. It is the first question anyone's going to ask you, no matter what your resume says or what your profiles say, is what's attracted you to applying with this role. And we want to hear that you've done your research on our brand and that our brand resonates with you. So whoever you're applying with, make sure that your cover letter tells your story. It's really going to help you connect with the interviewer. It's going to help you stand out and get an interview. I can't tell you how many people don't provide one, or write a sentence, 1 sentence long, saying, please see resume, or I am chef, or yeah, I could go on forever. with the terrible examples. But yeah, so definitely write a cover letter that matters, put some effort into it, put some time into it. It's another thing that we can help with if you have any questions around that as well. What hiring managers really look for. So this is a cracker, and it's something that you might not realize from the outside in and when applying for a role. But as I mentioned before, you've literally got seconds, and it's getting more and more cutthroat, I can tell you, as the years go on. There's also video interviewing that happens these days as well. So some brands, more and more actually, will get you to do a 60-second intro video, just a casual one speaking to camera, which in place of your cover letter is a great way to present yourself these days as well. So this comes down to, and they'll see those videos, and you've literally got seconds, whether it's a resume, a cover letter, a video interview. You've got seconds for them to sort of decide whether they like you or not. This is why I harp on about first impressions. Everything you can do to make yourself stand out or have a great first impression is definitely worth doing. So, and as I was referring to before, initiative over experience, attitude over the way you look, the way you present. A lot of people in this industry will come through going, I've been training for years. Look at me. I look great. Therefore, I should get the job. It's not the case. We don't deal in ego. We want great attitudes. We want great humans. We want people we want to work with every day. You spend a lot of time at work. So you really want to be someone that's going to contribute to the team and contribute to the culture. So that is a real important way of making yourself memorable, as well as follow up. Not many people do it. But the ones that do, well, you can put yourself back on the radar if things get busy, and they definitely do. Sometimes they don't mean to overlook you, but if you put yourself back at the top of their inbox, or you send them a message or reach out on LinkedIn or something, it's going to show effort. It's going to show initiative, and that stuff is priceless. So with your resume as well, just something else I wanted to touch on is it tailored to the brand? So that's another way that can help you stand out, is relatability. So if I'm looking at something and it's just speaks to the brand immediately, I'm like, wow, this is a fit. This person knows what they're talking about. They're so well aligned with this brand and what they talk about and their values. It's a really good way to stand out as well. So that, I mean, you don't have to get fancy with Canva or anything like that, but speaking the language of the brand that you are trying to apply for will really help as well, because the quicker they can make the association with you in their team, you become very hard to overlook, and you'll move to the top of the list very quickly. All these tiny things are things that people overlook, but really have a huge impact when you're applying with people like myself or hiring managers, owners, things like that as well. And I guess the final question is to really look at it and just go, okay, would I hire me? Does this, have a bit of self-reflection and a bit of awareness? The pick and flick and to send your resume out to just everyone generically and have it land is not the way forward. Choose your brands and apply on purpose and tailor your resume and cover letter to that brand. It's probably the best piece of advice to get you noticed, that we can focus on. The other part, just quickly, and it's a great way to move through your career, is with mentors. And you probably would have had some during your course, or even people that you follow online. They don't necessarily have to be with you there in person, although that's a great way to do it. But I'm sure you've got people that you look up to or that you've been following and things like that. So moving through your career, and I had this conversation with a client a couple of weeks ago, another person who'd been in the industry 30 years, and we were like, how did we get here? And the first thing that we were talking about was straight out of college and straight out of our courses, we had mentors, and your mentors will shift throughout your career as well. But I always have multiple mentors, whether they're dealing with you in person or you're just sort of following them. The best way I've sort of sought them out is to go, who's the best in the world at what I want to do, and put yourself in that room. Make sure that you're there at their events, that you work in their gym, that you become a client. If they're a personal trainer or a coach, become a client and just learn from them. It can tell you it's hugely valuable, and a great way to sort of move through your career. I think I started writing out my list of mentors from the moment I left college, a while back after that meeting. And I think there was easily upwards of 12 or more, and of multiple industries as well. So it doesn't just have to be in the fitness industry. You can learn business from other industries as well. And it's also a really, really great way to, I guess, learn innovative ideas that you can bring across into the fitness industry. I think hospitality is a really great one, that the fitness industry is now sort of aligning more and more so with, as we get deeper into experiential services and a higher service model with all of our luxury boutiques and things like that. I think hospitality is a great industry to learn from when it comes to customer experience and customer service. So mentoring matters. If you are looking for mentors, or you would like some connections, networking and all that sort of thing, we can obviously help you there as well. Just find out, what it is that you're wanting to learn more of, go deeper with, and then we sort of seek out mentors in that space who might be a really great person to be in the room with, or work with, or do coaching with. And it doesn't have to be paid either. It's not a particularly a paid coaching situation, although you can. There's other ways around that as well to get yourself in the room and to sort of learn from these people who are experts in their field. I think I was asked a little bit earlier about the pathways as well. So there are multiple different career pathways, and they can go on and on and on as to how you can move through this industry. It's a very exciting industry, and there's just so much variety in how you can put your career together. And it is a step-by-step situation. We don't want to run before we can walk. So getting really good at your role first. It's I guess, a pathway to mastery, if you will. So if you're looking to become a personal trainer, or you've just become a personal trainer, be the best at your job first. So master personal training, be really great. Have lots of successes in this space first. Once you've mastered being a personal trainer, you will inevitably be able to move into, say, a mentoring role, where you are now mentoring those coming through who've had a similar journey to you. Or might need some advice or things like that as well. You might have moved into a specialization or a niche at that point. And then depending on your career pathway there, you might want to stay in a mentoring role, or you may want to move into a head coach role. Now you're overseeing multiple personal trainers, for example, in one facility, and you're helping them become successful personal trainers in their space. Then you might move into a PT manager role, or a multi-site or regional role. So there's many different ways you can move, and it depends on the business you choose to be a part of. You might be on a pathway where you're working for yourself and in your own business. So that pathway would look different once again. But ownership, regional management, educating roles, there's just so many ways to move through it. And similar for the other roles as well, which is obviously group fitness, starting out as a group fitness instructor, moving then maybe into a specialization like Pilates, Reformer, or one of those very popular methodologies these days. But you basically move from being a generalist into a specialist, and then into either a mentoring position or a management position, and your career can go anywhere from there. Sales side of things, you start in administrative roles. You might start on reception and then move into a sales role. Then you move into a mentoring role for your sales team, or a team leader position. And then you might be looking after other staff, managing them, helping with them with their career pathways as well. So sales management, club management, multi-site management, regional management in that respect as well. You might want to be an owner. There's multiple different pathways that we can discuss there as well. And it does come back to the individual and unpacking all of those sort of things at the start. So I just wanted to, wrap things up, and then I'll take some questions, so I won't harp on and with my information too much longer. So I guess from here, how to take action. You can register with us, for example, and there's a QR code there that'll take you to the website. There's two ways you can register with us. You can apply for the roles that are open on the site already, or you can connect. And Connect is just a registration where you set your expressions of interest. What roles are you interested in? What do you want to hear from us about? And then once these roles come out, and oftentimes before they hit the market, you'll be the first ones to receive them in your email, and give you the first chance to apply as well. So we can work that way. Or if you don't know where to start, feel free to book a coaching call with me. That's no problem as well. We've got some workbooks there for you as well, that you can download. So for anyone who wants to, I guess, start at the beginning and unpack what their career looks like, and where to go with it all, I do have some resources for you as well. Just shoot me an email, and I can send you across that PDF workbook as well. Like I said, join our community of coaches and mentors. We can keep you connected and help you progressing through your career that way. But what I can say is to keep moving forward. You want to stay informed, you want to stay relevant, you want to keep evolving. It is innovate or die. Once you stop learning, that's it's not a great place to be. So if you want to be the best of the best, and you want to have a great career that's full of purpose and is quite rewarding, then you need to move through these actions on purpose and with purpose, and just to keep learning and never stop. I've always got mentors. I'm always doing courses. You can see the amount of courses I did, while I was during my career as well, and that hasn't stopped. It's just in a different space now. So we can connect you with anything you need to sort of progress things forward, wherever your roadblocks are. So that's it from me. I'm going to leave it with, with a couple of ways to connect. So feel free to reach out to me. My direct email is there as well, in case you want any more information on any of that. But you can connect on all of those spaces as well. And yeah, I look forward to speaking with you and helping anyone who would like more information. So I'll stop my presentation here, and you guys can hit me up with any questions that you have, or if Chloe's got questions or wants me to shut up, whatever, just let me know. I know that was a big brain dump, but yeah, let me know if you've got any questions for me, guys.
Oh, that's brilliant. Thank you so much, Beck. That's so informative. And I think, being AUSactive, we're really passionate about ongoing professional development. So that keep learning and never stop is exactly what we stand for. So yeah, we couldn't be more aligned on that. I hope everybody who has joined today has found great value in today's webinar. I'm sure you have. So many small details that you can take from today's presentation with Beck, thinking about adjusting your language to suit that brand, doing deep dives into the culture and purpose. So many key focuses that I think you can take away. I will highlight that AUSactive has a jobs board. Our jobs board is industry specific, so you won't find any jobs that are not in the fitness industry, and they're all our trusted business members that are posting on that jobs board. So I'd highly recommend going over there and checking that out.
I use that jobs board too. It's really good.
Oh, you use it too?
Yeah,
fantastic. Thank you so much. And you can actually head on there. I'm just going to pop the link in the chat, guys, to set up a job seeker profile. So what that means is you will be notified on jobs that AUSactive business members are posting as soon as they are, if they're within your area. Now, Beck, I can see there's a couple of comments or questions coming through in the chat from Andrew. So Andrew asks, interesting about the mentors. I'm finding a lot of people are eager to mentor newly qualified PTs, but as another revenue stream for them, i.e. paid. Should we expect to pay for all our mentor relationships?
No, for myself personally, I in my course, I did my course through AIF up here in Brisbane back in 2005-6, and my first mentors were my course coaches. So this isn't necessarily a paid mentorship, but they're there to answer any questions that you have and help you in their areas of expertise. A lot of my course coaches at AIF had areas of expertise themselves. One of them was an incredible boxer, and others were dealing in different sectors of the industry and things like that. So I built great relationships with my course coaches. I'm still actually really well connected with one of my course coaches to this day. His name is Ed Curtin. So he was one of my course coaches, and I left AIF and went immediately to work for him because the relationship there was so good. He was an incredible educator and became an incredible mentor to me to this day. So that's one of the examples, I guess, of how you can sort of move through things. I worked for another one of my course coaches as well, who was a great mentor in that space as well. I also always had a coach. I was a personal trainer. I graduated as a personal trainer, and I still have a personal trainer to this day. So I always have a PT, and each one of those PTs, I guess it's technically paid because I do pay for their services. They deserve it. But what you can gain from that and their experience as well is highly valuable. And each one of them, each time I've had a different coach, it's been in a different niche. I've had one in the body sculpting space, I've had one in the nutrition space, all of those sort of things. So and then just down to the people that you work with as well. So your manager should be a great mentor to you. People that you work with, you might have other PTs in your team, for example, who are specialists in different realms, who will inevitably be able to give you great advice as well. So sometimes it's just about swapping advice and asking people for advice and stuff like that. It doesn't have to be a formal situation. But yes, I guess if we're talking about mentors who are coaching you through your practical component, sometimes that they do want to be paid for their time. There's a lot who don't and are quite happy to just pay it forward as well. So yeah, it depends on the conversation and who you're meeting with. Some will, some won't, but just sort of have to take it on an individual basis, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, guys, if you haven't checked out already the AUSactive registry of exercise professionals, we actually do have mentors on there. So you can go on there and find people who've been qualified for either 5 to 10 years plus, and actually message them directly and ask them if they've got the mentoring badge on. You'll be able to reach out and contact them, and they should be more than happy to support. There's another question. Are some pathways more or less suitable, viable if you have limitations around hours?
Yeah. So are you speaking from, are you working two jobs at the same time? Is that why you would have limited hours and things like that? If that's the case, I guess there are different roles that will suit you better. It may be that contracting might suit you because you need some flexibility. There's lots of conversations around that too, because I find a lot of people try and hang on to the industry that they're working in for stability while they're building their side project or their business on the side. So if that's the case, and you're just starting out, you can be a casual at a lot of places as well. You might have a casual employed role if hours are a thing. If you are looking to step into the space of personal training and set up your own business in that space, you can do it while you're doing other things. And it depends on the business you're moving into and how much support they have for you and how quickly you can build your business. Some businesses will help you do it really quickly, and they have some great support and mentoring and blueprints for business that can help you jump straight in and really give it a go. I guess it depends on how quickly you want to build your business. So it is quite an individual conversation. Yeah, it depends. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And Becca, I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
I would just love to know, because a lot of people listening to this will probably be thinking about their first roles in the industry. Can you give us an example of a role that you've placed, which has been a real success, where it has been a first initial role, and what
Oh,
that
yeah.
looked like, and what company that was for, if you can share that.
Yeah, honestly, most businesses. So I would say the majority of people I'm hiring into gyms and facilities, especially in the personal training space, are new graduates.
Okay.
So really, we're looking for a great attitude and that alignment to the brand. So it will depend on where you sort of see yourself, where you want to go with your career, I suppose, because we are going to unpack all of that at the start. We want to make sure that we're placing you in the right fit for the long term, somewhere you can grow. So I guess having a great attitude, being well presented, being well spoken, having a good energy, a positive energy, and being someone that people want to be around, a clear enthusiasm for, the industry, whether it's personal training or training in general or sports or anything like that, dance, Pilates, whatever you're applying for, they want to see that you authentically live that lifestyle. So
Mhm.
attitude over experience any day of the week, and that makes you heavily employable. So it'll get you to the top of the pile over someone with more experience any day of the week.
Yeah, amazing. Okay, fab. And we just got a comment from Zoe come through in the chat. So Zoe said, I have limited hours due to my 20-year-old Down syndrome son and his needs, opposed to support hours that I have for him. So that was a question for me too, on if fitness could fit into my life with that restriction.
Yeah, absolutely, it can. It depends on the role that you're looking for. If you're wanting to move into admin, sales, all of those sort of things have either casual setups or part-time positions. So all of those sort of things can work for you. Some places as well with group fitness and personal training, all of those employed, I guess, model businesses will have that option and make it nice and flexible for you. So it depends on how much you want to work, which role you want to do, but there is absolutely opportunities to do things part-time in the industry for sure.
Brilliant. Well, I'll just leave that a couple of minutes if anybody wants to drop in some last minute questions, but you will have the opportunity to reach out to Bekk directly and to book a chat with her and maybe explore what your first role could look like. With Bekk or with our business members at AUSactive. So you'll receive a follow-up EDM. Please feel free to share your feedback as well with myself and Bekk in the survey that I've just dropped into the chat. But listen, Bekk, thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us today. And we're really, really grateful. And I'm sure this is going to really help some people find their dream career. So thanks.
Awesome. Well, I wish everyone the best. It's a really exciting industry to be in, and there definitely is long-term pathways for everyone. It's one of those industries where there's so much variety and so much flexibility and so many different things you can go and places you can take it. Yeah, it's really for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I've just had one person put in the chat, where in the
Yeah.
AUSactive can you find mentors in our area? So I'm going to drop that link directly to you now, so you can pop on there and have a look. So that's the Australian Register of Active Health Professionals. And then you'll be able to search for the accredited mentor there. I can see currently we have 32 who have gone through that accreditation to be a mentor, so you can reach out to them directly. Okay, thank you so much today, guys, for joining us, and thank you, Bekk.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. Bye.
Bye. Thank you, everyone, for joining today's webinar, Graduate with Confidence and Career Connections. Today's webinar will be presented by Bekk Milwood, who you'll be able to see on the screen now. Bekk is the founder and the head of talent acquisition at the Fitness Lifestyle International. She's a trusted recruitment expert in the health and fitness sector, and Bekk is also a consultant to hiring departments in the growing boutique fitness and wellness space. She is dedicated to elevating teams in the luxury fitness and wellness landscape across Australia. So today, Bekk is here to be sharing all of her expert advice on how you're going to get noticed through interviews, cover letters, and the resumes to secure your first role or maybe your career change role. If you have any questions for Bekk today, please kindly add them to the Q&A box, but there will also be some opportunities for you to have a chat at the end. With that, I am going to hand over to Bekk. Bekk will be sharing her screen. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. I'll just pop up my screen, hopefully, and that